Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast. This is Arun Gala, and my podcast is called Grabbing Coffee with Arun, where I talk to everyday people that are doing interesting things. Today, I'm very interested in talking to Mr. Dwight Boykins. He's running for a city council at large position. He was on the city council before. So, Mr. Boykins, welcome to the program.
Thank you, thank you. And I like my coffee black, by the way.
You like it just black, huh?
No cream. Now, I get a little sweet low, but no cream. I can't handle that. But
But
I
what
love my coffee, and I look forward to spending these next few minutes with you to talk about what's happening in our beautiful city.
So what about that French vanilla creamer? I like that too.
Man, my stomach. I wish my stomach don't mix with that.
So just to start out with, Dwight, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Man, thank you so much for having me. I want to say that again, and thank you for your podcast and allowing people to have a platform to come out and talk about what they believe in, and you with the coffee, the Grab a Cup of Coffee platform is allowing us to do this. I'm from Houston, Texas. Grew up in Southeast Houston, South Union part of town, and grew up with a single parent, man, in the projects like everybody back in the '70s, and just had values of trying to treat people right and
Right.
serving the least and the last. And I take that with me to this day. I'd always wanted to do something to be able to help people. My journey went through high school, Cullen Junior High School, then Stephen F. Austin High School off of Dumble, and then Texas Southern University where I majored in business. And, went into the police academy for a little bit, did finish that up. And but my journey has always been to be in public service to help people
Hmm.
because people helped my mother when she was a single mother struggling to feed six hard heads. So and I saw that, man. And so that's why I govern the way I do, and I do what I can to help people.
So I'm just kind of curious about. I want to kind of educate. Well, not educate is not the right word, but I want to learn more about the city council, the way it's laid out. Um,
Okay.
I'm kind of curious about how many city council members are they, and tell me a little bit
Yeah,
about the at-large positions too.
The Houston City Council has a total of 16 council seats and one mayor. And the way the structure is, you have 11 district council members and five at-large council members. And the five at large are again positions one, two, three, four, and five. I am running for the position four, which represents the entire city. Now you have 11 district council members where I did serve as a district council member where I represented only District D, which comprised of Sunnyside, South Park, Third Ward, Sagemont, Black Hawk, Museum District, and a few other little spots. And so that's what I did. But now I'm running for a position that's going to represent the entire city.
So, Dwight, tell me a little bit about what does the city council do for the citizens of Houston?
That's a great question because it changes every week almost, but it's local government, and you have two different roles. The district council member, when I served in the district, I was a little bit different. I was more of a, I tell people all the time, I'm not a politician, I'm a public servant. So I was kind of on call. I took it personal that people gave me the chance to represent them. And I was on call 7 days, 24 hours a day when they called me if they were in need, if I could help.
Hmm.
The role of the typical city council member is to allow to be your advocate for your part of your community down at City Hall. And it's important that they know the different departments, the to be able to kind of be the middle person to make certain that what the needs are met. And that large council member is more visionary, bringing in programs for the entire city. For an example, my good friend Stephen Costello, when he was that large council member, he brought in what we call Rebuild Houston
Right.
to the city. And I was on that committee that dealt with infrastructure drainage uh, plan for the entire city. And but Costello was the council member that carried that thing and did a fantastic job. Former police chief C.O. Bradford, he brought in what we call council service district service fund, which allowed each district council member to have monies up to $1 million to service their community needs. So that at-large council members typically take broader positions. And what I'm looking at as a at-large council member, I've taken that experience as a district and kind of expanded on it. For an example, I created a program called Seniors Minor Home Repair Program, where I
Right.
got the private sector to put money in through golf tournaments and different things we did to put money in a fund outside of the city to be able to, a nonprofit, to be able to help seniors in my council district with minor home repairs at no cost. We repaired over 607 homes. As an
Wow.
at-large council member, I'm gonna stretch that around the city and get more money to be able to help more seniors that need help. And then I had what I call a second chance program that gave those who made mistakes in the past, including nonviolent ex-felons, a second chance at life. And as a council member at large, you typically have 5 positions now. One of my positions is going to be a vacant slot for a person who needs a second chance. And I thought about that. God put that on my heart, and I said, yeah, I want to talk about creating jobs around the city, and I'm going to do that. We've had uh, job fairs at Georgia Brown and done real well with them. Six,
Hmm.
7,000 people show up.
Right.
But I'm gonna lead by example and give somebody. Just think about this, man. Somebody who made a mistake, want to get their head right. Nobody want to hire them. All of a
Right.
sudden, do a little pool. I bring them in. They come work in the city. Benefits, decent salary, close to the mayor, close to council members, close to the city controller, and you get to meet people because somebody believed in you to give you a
Right.
shot,
Right.
and you can take a job with the city. So all that to say, as an at-large council member, I'm gonna expand my second chance program. And the third thing that's really important to me is what I did in my district is bringing grocery stores to food deserts. There are a lot of parts of Houston where food insecurities are strong, man, and real. And so it's important that we make certain that we deal with that. I built 2 grocery stores in my council district. And I'm going to take
Wow.
that same format dealing with the federal government to get that money. Wasn't the mayor, it was my deal. And they'll tell you, Mayor D. Sparker was very generous to working with me, allowed me to do it. So we got that. And the fourth thing, I'm sorry, is community policing. So we can talk more about that. But I want to make certain police that live in the city of Houston have an opportunity to take their patrol cars home if they agree to patrol 30 minutes before they go to work within the
Uh-huh.
2 mile radius of their house, 30 minutes when they return within a 2 mile radius of their house, and
That's
park the car in front of their house. I can guarantee you a 20% reduction in crime in
that
1 year.
deters. Yeah,
Guarantee.
that deters crime. Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of that's where I am. And sorry about the long speech, but I just want to let you know where I am and the difference between the district and that large council member.
Let me ask you this about the drainage fees, the recycling fees, because I guess we had little problems with those. What are your comments on that?
Well, again, I was part of the original Renew Houston. I'm
Hmm.
glad you brought it up, first of all. The Renew Houston concept, it passed, the voters passed it, and it became Rebuild Houston for the city of Houston
Right.
because there's no longer a campaign, excuse me. So once it became Rebuild Houston, we told the voters we were going to place that money in a lockbox, only for street and drainage and repair projects, I'm sorry. 2 administrations came and some of the money was, it wasn't illegal, but they was using that money for for sidewalks and different things, and it
Right.
took away from the program. So
Hmm.
as a council member, so I'm sorry, I kind of got in front of it. So 2 guys that was part of that created the program sued the city, won with the Texas Supreme Court ruling that the city has to reimburse that account, that fund, back $100+ million that was diverted. Mayor Whitmire has agreed not to challenge it, and I'm so glad to hear that.
Right.
But an audit component to make certain it's done right going forward is part of this. So as that large council member, my job is to make certain I'm a commit to making certain I created this monster, I carry it through, that we told the taxpayers we're not going to use that money for anything else, and we're not going to use it. I'm going to be accountable for making certain that fund and staying on top of that. That fund is appropriated because the bottom line is streets of River Oaks to uh, Denver Harbor to Third Ward doesn't know where they are. It's worse first, and we need to treat the fund right, the program right, and fix these streets in Houston.
Right. So, Dwight, how can we make it easier for the citizens of Houston to reach out to the city council, say, hey, this is my council member, I need to reach out to them? And how do they go about finding out who you guys are and stuff like that?
Man, that's a great question. Oh boy, that's the best question you didn't ask because no, because people don't realize these city council members, state reps, school board, Congress people work for them, man.
Right.
You got to remember that. All you need to do is Google Houston City Council members for, and then you put your street and that and zip code in there, and it'll pop up who it is and the phone number.
And you can call
It should,
211 too, right?
or 311, yeah.
311, yeah. So,
But it's real simple, but they work for you. But when you call, make sure you have a legitimate question. Trust me,
right,
I got some of them, man, that make you say, okay, now, come on, man. And
right,
then the late, great Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee,
right. I'm surprised
the
she
reason I
passed. So,
love, oh, man, that's why I love working with that lady. She was the type that if you called her, that's how I learned how to become a public servant, whether people was pro or anti Congresswoman Lee. If
mm,
you call her for a city issue, she's gonna talk to you like she got the answer, but then call the council member. And I love that about it. She never turned down a call. But what I'm saying, to be effective, know your branches of government and take advantage of the people who work for you and know who you calling and why you're calling.
let me ask you, do you have any? I'm sure you have a desire to run for mayor again, right?
Oh no, no, no. No.
Not,
I'm
not,
not committing that now, bro. No. I'm just trying to do this thing on the at large end and then get my horse, and I'm trying to buy me another horse, man, because both have died, and load up my trailer, and on weekends head to be a trail ride. That's but with a can of Bud Light or maybe Modelo. That's all I need, man.
yeah,
So after, huh?
Modelo's my favorite beer too. So,
Oh yeah, make it cold. So on weekends after I serve these terms, man, my goal is to be able to make certain that we get the city back where we want it because we're going in the right direction, and do my little part and then hand it over.
let me ask you about the bike trails. What are your comments on that? Or because I know that we built them already, right? And
Yeah, there's some issues. There's some concerns about the hike and bike trails, and in particular with those that's on in the streets.
hmm
A lot of neighbors. I think the way they were rolled out, there are a lot of community folk that had some problems with the way the rollout on that,
hmm
and it just made it tough to be effective with them. I think, like for an example, by Texas Southern off of Blodgett, they
right,
put them down, and it was a problem there because the community did not want them,
right,
and it was kind of like forced in. So, and there's some parts of Houston that wants them. So I think a better job of communicating how they will work and where they will go would be helpful. I see the benefit of the bike trail, the
mm,
exercise, and I see the benefit, but you got to be respectful with to the community.
right. What do you think the city is prepared for another Harvey or another what was the one we had last year? Beryl?
Yeah, I think we are from what Centerport Energy is doing. They put in these steel poles
hmm
that's handling the transformers, and I think that will help. That's a great question too, man. This is a great show. I love your questions. Let me just say that I love your questions.
Well, I'm an ex-city
Uh,
employee. You know, people think all
well,
city employees don't know what they're talking about, but I know a little something.
you know a whole lot. But Centerpoint put those poles in that would help in terms of power being turned back on. But regards to flooding, one of the things I used to do is tell people all the time in my district on robocalls, please, please, please do not allow leaves, clean your inlets. Do not let leaves and trash go into your inlets
Right,
because when the rain comes, and like if a big rain was coming, I would always go and do a robocall and say, please call my office if you're a senior citizen and you know an inlet is clogged up, and we'll get somebody to come get it. And I hate to tell you this, but most of the time it's me. I get my pickup truck because you give maybe six people calls. I just go get the shovel and trash bags and go around to those neighborhoods, man, and clean inlets. Because
right,
what happens if that water backs up, you done messed up the whole street, all based on a clogged up inlet.
right.
and people tend to not want to get that engaged with their community if they want to complain. So I do the robocall to remind them, and yeah, especially me, I'm going, and we take care of it. And I, like I said, most of the time I do it myself.
So Dwight, when are the elections for the at-large position? Are they going on now? They're not
We,
going on now,
yeah,
right?
it's coming up. Yeah, it'll be on this November 4th ballot.
So, okay, how many people are running on that? Or,
I don't know, man. I mean, right now maybe one or two, but I don't see a lot of stuff yet. But I'm sure it'll be coming.
yeah, I really,
Right now, just hey, look, right now, just one running me.
you're just running the show. Yeah, I wish you good luck and really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you. Hopefully, we can talk again. And
I hope so too. We win if we win the race, even if not, so if we win the race in November, let's follow back up. And we could talk from that angle too.
yeah, was there any last thing that you want to say to my listeners?
I just want to thank you all for listening in, and just keep supporting the podcast because we need these type in our community, especially with somebody who worked at the city of public works. They know what they're talking about. So thank
Yeah.
you all for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Boykins. And you guys can reach me at grabbing coffee with Arun, ARUN at gmail.com. And thank you so for your time. And good luck with your
Okay, real
mom.
thank you.
Good luck
All
with
right,
your
thank you
mom.
so much, man.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye bye.